pretty excited for the day we can get back to the gallery.
Yeah.
I mean, the gallery's open, but
Yeah.
we can't have receptions.
Where you can be in your new normal.
In our new
but
normal.
with openings and such. Yeah.
So, thank you for sticking with us. I'd love to say this is the last time we're going to have technical difficulties, but I know that isn't true. Anyway, we are here with Kim Casebeer, as I said before, in an artist's natural environment.
Right.
We are here.
Without paint on my clothes.
That is true. That is true.
I'm
Without
never
paint on your clothes.
FYI, I never dress like this when I'm painting.
Okay, so we are going to talk about a few things, and if you have any questions, please type them in. And Kevin is behind the camera; he's going to field them for us. And ask some questions, and I'm going to get us started.
Okay.
So, tell us about your background, Kim.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. Should I start with my art career, like art college?
Well, you're a Kansas girl, right?
Yes.
You are a Kansas
I grew
girl.
up on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
So really, my background in landscape, I always say my background in landscape painting really started on the farm because I was always outdoors. I mean, that drives me crazy when kids are indoors all the time, right? You know, especially like now. Because I was always outdoors, running around and being in nature, and I knew that I wanted to be creative from an early age. I took drawing classes and painting classes. And then I went to college and got a graphic design degree. And here at K-State, I'm a K-Stater, and that emphasis is, it's a Bachelor of Fine Arts, but with an emphasis in graphic design.
Yes, there's a diploma right over here.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that.
There's my book.
We can frame that for you if you like.
If you like how it's like 20 years old now. Yeah, so then I got a job right out of college as a graphic designer at an advertising agency, and worked for a couple of, just one real advertising agency. And you sit at a desk. I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but you sit at a desk for 10 hours working on the computer. Which I didn't really love that much. I mean, I loved the creative part, but I didn't like sitting at a desk all the time. And so then it was probably less than a year out of college that I took painting back up fairly seriously. I joined the Topeka Art Guild, which, as you know, we have other artists. Callie used to belong. I don't know, maybe she still belongs. But there's people that, I met Callie at the Topeka Art Guild. I met Brian Slauson at the Topeka Art Guild. That's where we met each other ages ago. And it was nice because you weren't forced, but they had a show every 2 months, and they had a space, so you could show your work. And it was a way of forcing myself to paint, even though I had a day job, and I would paint in the evenings and weekends, because I was painting for something. I was painting for a show. So that got me started. Wonderful. And then just kind of snowballed from there, started showing in galleries. And
Great.
yeah.
And so how long have you been showing here in Manhattan? Were you showing with... 10 years. Okay, so with Jay and Barbara had a gallery.
With Jay and Barbara first. Right.
Wonderful.
And then with you, Alan.
So that's interesting.
I feel like I should know the exact number of years, but I don't. It was early 2000s.
It was, because
Yes.
I was out at a client's today,
Okay.
and they bought a Callie,
Okay.
but they already had a Kim Casebeer.
And was it from early?
It was a
2000s?
pastel
Yeah, because I only
from
worked in
2002.
Yeah. So more like 20
It
years.
was 20 years. 20 years.
That would be closer.
Early in Jay and Barbara's tenure.
I'm
Yes.
saying it's only 10.
Yeah, well,
No,
okay.
more like 20.
Like before kids.
Yeah.
Before kids.
Before kids.
Yes.
Before kids.
Yes.
Yeah. For
So,
sure. Yeah.
so how long did it take you to really get to the point you were doing this? This was your career.
I was very fortunate for a couple of reasons. I I didn't, so of course, I already said I didn't really enjoy my job that much, and but I started showing work in the early 2000s when, work was just selling really well. I mean, everybody knows, we've been through these ups and downs in the art business, but at that time, work just sold really well, and I can't say I certainly wasn't better than I am now, but I had a couple of one-person shows. I had a one-person show in Kansas City. The same year, I had a one-person show in Kansas City, and I had a one-person show with Jay at Stricker Nelson, and made more money with 2 shows than I did all of the year of my salary.
Wow.
And so it was kind of a no-brainer. Like, why am I still doing this?
Yes. Yes.
And then I also did some contract work as a graphic designer, so that kind of I was able to ease my way out of the graphic design and into fine art. Yeah.
So, I have some notes here.
Okay.
One of them was, you showed in the video, am I talking loud enough? I'm good.
Seem to be a little
Oh, okay.
I'm used to yelling over him.
Okay, I'll try to speak
Or
louder.
through the gallery, yelling through
Okay.
the gallery.
Okay.
So you showed us the Isaac Leviton
Yes.
book.
Yes.
Is he your favorite? He's a Russian impressionist.
Yes.
He is.
He is. He's my hero.
He's
Yes.
your hero?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I know most people think of the French impressionists, but there's a
Right.
very strong Russian impressionist school
Yes.
as well.
Yes. Yes, there is, for sure. I don't know, I felt more connected to Russian Impressionism. I think that comes from the farm background too.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, because look at what they paint, these very everyday scenes.
Mhm.
They didn't really embellish things in the way that the French Impressionists did, in some cases.
So
Yeah.
you're just a Kansas girl,
I'm a
not a
Kansas girl.
Parisian.
I'm a Kansas girl, and my ancestors came from Prussia, so I don't know.
There's that emotional
Yeah,
connection.
yeah. I mean, maybe that's silly, but
No,
yeah,
it's
that's,
not silly.
But that's yeah. I have a connection. I feel like there's a connection.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
So one of the other things you showed us was the plein air magazine,
Oh yes.
which you have the
I'll get it out.
get it out.
I can't remember what it's called. Let me hold it up here. Okay, it's the. I think this might be backwards for them. It's the Art of the Journey, and this is an article that was written about my friendship with Cammie Menlick and I who travel. We travel a lot together, and so that's the theme of the article. We went to Big Sky, Montana, and Jackson Hole, Wyoming, in this trip, and we spent 2 weeks, 1 week in each place. And that's what it's about. It's about that trip in particular.
Wonderful. I know
Yeah.
you show in Jackson Hole as well.
Right.
The gallery in
Right.
Jackson Hole.
Right.
Does Cammie have one there too?
No, she
Okay.
was in Montana for a commission,
Okay.
and that's how she had that connection to Big Sky,
Okay.
and then I had the connection to Jackson
Mhm.
for the gallery and also for a plein air event that I was in. So yeah, so obviously the pieces that they selected are Jackson Hole and
Mhm.
Tetons in this
So-
article. Yeah.
If I have questions, should I kind of wave
Yes,
and
wave.
Yes, please do.
All right, so Kim, Michelle Wooderson says hi. You know, I posted
Michelle.
questions with you and Cammie, so I wanted to say hello. Are there any plein air groups in the area that get together for just painting? No instruction. I know Susan Rose has a group.
Yes, that's the group I was going to suggest, is Susan Rose's group.
Second Saturday,
I was
paint
gonna say,
out.
okay, I was gonna say third Saturday.
No,
but
second Saturday.
Second Saturday paint out, and I think that they meet rain or shine or
I think
cold
they do.
weather and a lot of times they meet at Susan Rose's place, but yeah, Michelle, you should just get in touch with Susan Rose if you know how to do that.
I think you can do that on Facebook. I know
Do that on
she
Facebook,
posts a
yeah.
lot on Facebook, so
Yeah.
that's probably the best way.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
she
you
would love
can,
to
you
have
know, if you would like us to, if that's not working, call the gallery we will get in touch with Susan for you.
Yeah, she would love to have you.
And I had a text from somebody who said they really liked the lily pads in the studio.
Oh,
Okay?
nice. Yeah.
Lovely.
So did they see it as we panned by, I guess?
I believe would have been, I think, during the
Yeah, okay.
pre-show.
Okay.
So, Michelle, Instagram Live.
Yes.
Tell us
yeah.
about Instagram Live, which
Yes,
is the
Instagram
segue
Live.
from the
From our adventures. So Cammie and I, let's see, we've done 4 of them. So 4 weeks ago, we put together an Instagram Live. We call it Canvas and Coffee with Cammie and Kim. Say that a whole bunch of times. And we do it Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Central. And the beautiful thing about the Instagram Live, like the Facebook Live, is if you can't see it at 10 a.m., you can see it later on our Instagram TV. I think it's Instagram TV. It's on our pages. So, and we flip back and forth. So every other week it's on my page, and then the other weeks it's on Cammie's. So Kim Casebeer Artist is mine, and Cammie Menlake is hers. So join us. Yeah, it's fun.
K-A-M-I-M-E-N-D-L-I-K.
Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We talk art books this last week. We talk art. We talk, painting. We just talk.
And Tom Linden says he enjoys the Canvas and Coffee episodes, and thank you for sharing.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
So you have some other opportunities coming up to work on painting. You have 3 workshops coming up. I
Yes.
assume those are viewable on your
Yeah.
webpage.
On my website, right, under workshop, on the workshop link on my website, kimcasebeer.com, you can find information about upcoming workshops. I have one that I just put up. I think that will be good. It's in May. I'm going to host it out of Manhattan, so maybe we'll come to the gallery.
Ooh, that would be
and
great.
Take a look at the gallery. That would
Sure.
be fun. We'll visit the gallery. And there's a lot of nice painting spots in the area, not too far away that I know. It's going to be a plein air workshop, and we're going to base it out of my studio, so if we have to come inside or we have a place to meet, we'll meet in the studio.
And how many do you expect? How many spots are there available for that?
That's a good question. I didn't really set that, but 12, 14 is,
Okay.
14 is plenty. 12 is a beautiful number.
Okay.
12 is, yeah.
Okay.
12 is a nice number. Yeah, so that's a plein air workshop. I have another plein air workshop in October in Fredericksburg, Texas. And I have a studio workshop in Hayes, Kansas in October, and that's with the Palco Art Club. Palco Art Club puts together workshops every year.
So, Celeste Perez-Smith, love the studio Airbnb idea. Your studio is lovely. Looks like a perfect place to paint. I have your dramatic light video and am watching it right now as I am painting a big sky type of painting.
Nice.
Right.
Nice. Yes, that's she's talking about the DVD from Streamline Publishing that's called Dramatic Light. That I put, let's see, I think it came out about a year ago. It's been out almost a year.
And I'm going to deviate from my script a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Since I've had the question,
Oh, are we looking at a
I'm
painting?
going to look at the lily pad.
Okay,
And
good.
could you tell us about that and how big is that,
Oh,
roughly?
Well, I think it's 16 by 30. But don't
I
hold me
think so.
to that.
We had that at the gallery at one point, didn't we? I think we did.
Yeah.
We did.
I think so, but it can go back.
They can go back.
It can go back. I'm pretty sure it's 16 by 30. It's based off of, it's actually based off of Wisconsin, being up in Wisconsin in the Door County area.
Ah.
But, that's an intimate scene. It's very,
Yes.
it could be anywhere.
Yes.
That
It could be anywhere.
That could be lots of different places. But yeah.
Okay,
Really
thank
fun.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, speaking of studios, lots of things here. I know we've done some demonstrations in the gallery. We were at Tony Nichols' studio, which, anytime you're hanging out with Tony, it's an interesting time.
Tony time's always
Tony
fun.
time's always good. We know you're not going to get wild and crazy like Tony. So, it is a lovely space here. What do you recommend for people who maybe want to? What is your favorite thing here in the studio?
My studio? Well, okay, so
And if you say the easel, I'm going to have to say what's your second favorite thing.
Right,
The
okay.
easel.
I do love my
The
easel.
easel is amazing.
I do love my easel, but I already had the easel before I had the studio. Do you have a
Real quick question about the lily
question?
pad.
Okay, good question.
Is it big enough to go over a bed?
Absolutely.
Okay. I will respond.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you want to email me tomorrow, I have the information on that, because I do believe we had it at the gallery. And Kim moves things around,
Right, right.
as do many of our artists. So I should have that still in my system, and I can give some information on it.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah,
No problem. So
that's
you can
quite all right.
email the gallery, you can email us at, you can email me directly, alyn@snwgallery.com.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
That's my
had
favorite
the
thing.
easel, we looked at your tambour,
Yeah.
which we might talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Is maybe it's just the space that you love having?
Yeah, okay, so when I was looking for a studio, like wow, can't speak. All artists look for north light, so that was one of the first things. Even though I don't have giant windows, I have north light windows here in my studio space. So that was very important. The second thing that I really like, just me personally, is the space that I'm actually going to work in. This room had to be long because I like to stand way back, away from my work. I cannot work in a square room, like the shorter room. That just, for me, that doesn't work. So, trust me, I pace this, I pace this room a lot. So that was another plus, is as soon as I saw this room, because the rest of it, as you saw earlier, is an Airbnb. So I use those spaces, but I don't actually paint in those spaces. I have this one big room that I paint in, and it works out perfect.
So, Tom Linden would like to know, could you offer insights about your selection of scenes and subject for your plein air paintings and how you develop them into larger studio works?
Oh,
Well,
What a segue.
there we go.
what a segue.
There's the segue right there.
Thank you very much for the segue.
Well, okay, so this is a study, a color study. This is 8 by 10. I mean, what do I look for initially? I just have to really be inspired by the location, by the subject. It's sometimes it's light, sometimes it's shapes. It's different each time, but it has to be inspiring, and there has to be this one reason why I really want to paint it. So, like in this example, I was really looking at the limited palette of the warm palette and the fall colors, and how that is balanced with the cool, the sky and the water, and so that's what drew me to this. But then, if they can see this, I think
Yes, they can, as long as I'm
Yeah,
doing this.
yeah. So this has just started. It's not even all the way blocked in, but I actually started this today. It's 24 by 30, and it's not going to deviate too much from the study, except there'll just be more detail, more variation in color in certain places. But I felt like this was successful enough that it warranted a larger piece. So, yeah. They don't all turn out. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't all turn out to be like the plein airs. Don't all turn out to be paintings that I will turn into a larger piece. But it has to be important enough and successful enough for it to be large.
So, you do these on a panel.
Yes.
Is it a canvas is it a canvas panel or?
It's linen.
It's
a
a linen.
linen.
I'm
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
painter, so I ask the silly questions.
Yeah, no, that's not a silly question, because artists, I mean,
It's
half
different.
artists like canvas, artists like linen, some artists paint on gesso board that doesn't even have canvas or linen on it, so.
And then these
Yeah.
larger ones, they're both, I can see the same thing.
Yes,
Um,
they are, I mount these myself, but they
Oh,
are
okay.
oil primed linen, and I mount them, so that I can just, and I like to do that myself, because I can cut them down to whatever size that I need.
Okay. Oh, but I've got the dumb non-artist question.
Okay.
So when you do the study, do you
Yeah.
mix up enough paint to do both of them?
Oh, no.
Oh, so you've got to like rematch the color.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy, that'd
Or
kill me.
she's got to get the right color.
Or maybe it's not gonna be exactly the
It's not gonna
same
be
color, it might
Well,
not be the
and
same.
it might not always be the exact scene. So when you do the plein airs, is your goal to really capture the scene? Or is it to take the scene and maybe, sometimes you might need to tweak a few things. So,
Yeah.
so do you, are you
Speak
really
up.
going for, this is what it is, or are you going for, I want to be inspired by this scene to
Yes.
make a beautiful piece?
Oh, yeah, always. You have to bring something to the scene. You're bringing yourself to it. So, when I'm outside painting plein air, I am mostly concentrating on capturing the correct values and colors. Doesn't mean that I don't want it to be a good composition, but that's actually secondary to grabbing the right information, the color. Because when you take a photo, the color is not accurate. So I can take a photo and I can adjust the composition off of my photo in the studio, but I can't capture color from the photo. I have to have this study for my color, so.
So, and Tom Linden had a follow-on here. Do you find you make major changes from your studies, or do you find you're able to stay relatively faithful to the plein air?
That depends on the subject. That's not a yes or no question. Sometimes sometimes if the plein air was very successful in all aspects, composition, values, color, then yes, it stays the same. But that doesn't happen very often, to be perfectly honest. Usually, I take my time in the studio to see how I can push the composition. So, where I might have played it safe a little bit outside because I was trying to focus on color, and so maybe the composition just stayed, I don't know, like the first thing that I thought of. In the studio, I'll play with that a little bit, and I may not stick with the first idea that I thought of, because you have time. You have the luxury of time in the studio. Yeah.
So, the reason we put this one up, we thought it was, well, this one is
Not done.
not done, just started. This one is almost done,
Almost done.
maybe
But,
done.
yeah, don't know yet. Can't
Don't
say.
know
It's too
yet.
soon.
What is the, so once you think you have it done,
Yeah.
how long, I mean, how many
Do I
times,
need time?
how much, do you just keep going back and looking at it? Do you?
No. Well, okay, well, yes and no. So I did some touching up of this today, and so it's really just up here because of that. It's here because I was working on it, but it's gonna go in a way. It's gonna go into one of these files over here behind you, Alan,
Okay,
and just sit there for a week or two.
okay.
Because they have to sit, they have to be out of sight. So me personally, I have to have my work out of sight, and then in 2 weeks I'll get it out, and I'll either be able to say, oh yeah, it's done, or I'll say, oh my goodness, it's not done. Oh my goodness, I see something.
And is that because it keeps you from walking by it and going,
Yes.
oh, I need to change that, and grabbing
It's just-
something and
it's
trying to do it?
fresh. Like, I've been staring at this for days. It's just, it's in my head. I have to get it out of my head and look at it fresh.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so that's probably where that will go. It will go in there, and then, hopefully I'll pull it back out.
Something
Sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes I'm like, oh wait, I should pull something out and actually work on it again.
And we are probably nearing the end, so if there are any more questions that anyone has,
Well,
it would be a
I
good
think
time to post.
It would be, we're getting ready to wrap up. But Kim has some things over here with what she takes out on her plein air expeditions.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Okay.
maybe Kevin can.
I
spin a
will
little
do
and-
that in a moment. Jerry Moon would like to
Hi,
know,
Jerry.
Oh, hi Jerry.
how limited is the range of colors on your palette?
Oh, well, maybe you need
I
to
don't
open
know.
it up.
Can they see the
Yes,
palette if I
they
open
can,
it up?
yes.
Especially if you bring it closer to the camera.
Well, this does not have paint on it.
Oh, that,
So I
that-
can't, I have to open up this.
right, you have to
The
open up
tablet.
that. I knew you had to open
Oh,
up
it's
the
kind of
tablet.
messy, it's kind of messy.
Messy is good. Kevin could
Yeah.
pick up and just
Maybe carry it
Shut.
over. So I work, mostly I call my palette a split primary palette with a few extra colors. So split primary means you have a warm and cool of each of the primaries. So I have, that's almost gone, but I have a cool yellow and a warm yellow, and then a cool and warm red, and a cool and warm blue, and then a couple greens, and some earth colors, and white, because you can't paint without white, but yeah, so it's pretty, I don't know, I would consider it fairly, I guess there's no standard palette really, but it's,
And do you find you've got about the same palette in the studio as you do when you're plein air?
yes, mostly. I keep all of those same colors. Yeah, pretty much everything here goes outside with me, except sometimes I just skip the burnt sienna because I don't use a lot of earth colors once I'm painting anyway.
And
I mix colors.
Nathan Novak. Hi, Nathan.
I mix
In the studio, when you're layering paint, what ratio do you find painting wet on wet to wet on dry?
I like to say probably 85% of it's wet and wet. That's probably how this went. And then there's the last 10-15% that I purposely kind of leave it till it gets tacky or dry, and then I'm dry brushing. I get a little more texture that way, and that's on purpose. So I might touch up like highlights and things when it's a little bit dry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, maybe you want to, real quick, open up your little field piece.
There's no paint on this, but this is my open box M. You can see it's been used a few times.
Just a few.
This is my open box M. It's 10 by 12, pretty standard size, not big. But this is my favorite box because it's not too big, not too small. It's, it's a good size. I have to kind of mix in stages because it's not all that large, but it's so lightweight. It's just this really thin profile.
You've got to find what works for you.
Exactly.
I know John Halsey had a very different one.
Yeah, I have a couple. I have a 12 by 6. I have a bigger one, and then I have a really little one. So I have different sizes that work for different things. But this is the one that I get out 90% of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any last thoughts you wish to share with us?
I don't know. Can't think of anything off the top of my head unless anybody has any questions. That
I
you
think
think
we've had some great.
we've had some good questions.
We had some really great questions.
Yeah, we've had some good
I
questions.
think the video beforehand showed off your art really well. I know the camera work wasn't spectacular, but that's on me.
Well, she was dealing with the
a whole bunch of things, and Matilda was.
and Matilda.
And
Tripped over Matilda, and then my floors. This house is from 1924, so the floors are not perfect.
Yeah.
And she was dealing with that.
So, are you going to be down in
Fredericksburg.
Fredericksburg
Yes.
anytime?
Well,
Because
October.
in October, okay, because Celeste would like to enroll in your class next time you're down there. She's in
yay.
Austin, love
Yeah.
Fredericksburg.
Yeah,
Thanks for your comments.
Join us. We had a lot of fun. There are very welcoming people that have ranches there that we paint on. And it was, yeah, the weather last time was beautiful. It was just starting, the color was just starting to turn, but it was still plenty warm out.
I think that one's
Lovely.
late, kind of mid to late October. I have October 15th through 18th.
Yes.
Both plein air and studio, confident color in the Texas landscape
Yeah.
at the Fredericksburg Artist School, which, so I
Right, Bill
assume
Bush.
they can go to the Fredericksburg Artist School
Yes. go to the
website. That's
Yeah.
how one would enroll.
Yes. They have to go to the website, call Bill Bush. He's how you registered through him.
And we had a question about the studio preview on the earlier part. It will be up on Facebook.
Yes.
It's probably actually already on. It should be under videos on
Yeah.
our Facebook
So,
page, which
it's-
if you're watching us right now, you're not watching our videos. And we will get it up on our YouTube page on our channel. And
Okay.
Kim is more than welcome to put it on her
I'll share it.
share it. It's going to be out there.
The link
So,
will
yeah.
be out there, so yes,
Yes.
it will be online.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Well, Kim, it's been lovely.
Thanks for joining
The
us,
art is,
everybody.
yeah, thanks for joining
A
us.
lot of fun
And
to show you my studio, show you around.
yeah. And if I painted, I would definitely take one of your workshops.
You should just join us.
I should just,
sometime.
oh, I don't know. Well, maybe.
We'll invite you out.
I'll drive the golf
When we're
cart.
good.
You'll drive the golf cart.
We'll invite you out in May.
Oh, well, that would be lovely. I would love to join you and meet everyone. So thank you, Kim. Thank you for opening your studio to us.
I had
Thank
fun
you.
doing it.
Yeah, thanks for being part of the SNW Gallery family. And we're open regular hours, so you can stop by the gallery down on Points Avenue. We also have a fabulous website. You can see all of Kim's work there and many other artists too. And please don't hesitate to contact us if you want more information on anything.